Look at your neighbor and say, it's just life. Don't freak out. It's just life. You gonna make it. You don't call the ER. You gonna make it. It's life. And in life, there are some times and moments where you feel like the very life is being choked right out of you. And you feel like you cannot go on. And sometimes it's like an emotional roller coaster. Anybody ever been there? It's like you're up one moment and you're down the next. But it's when God walks on the scene in your circumstance. That's the only thing that can cause you to be resilient. It's not your personality. It's not your strength. It's not your education. It's not your charisma. It may not even be you quoting 20 scriptures. But it's your reliance upon God that somehow begins to stir you up. Mm-hmm. See, when we're in a fight, we need a stirring. I said we need a stirring. Come on, we need a power from on high. We need a power within us to ignite us. Anybody ever watch wrestling? Okay, thank God, because when I mentioned boxing, y'all were afraid. Steve, they were freaking out when I said boxing. And then I started wrestling. Now, I'm not talking about today's wrestling. I'm talking about wrestling when it was real. Come on. Come on. Remember Kabuki and Kamala? Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Stephen F. Austin and all those guys. And how many of you guys remember Hulk Hogan? Oh, we got some Hulk Hogan fans in the house today. Listen, I used to love watching wrestling when it was real, because wrestling was real. If you stand up and say otherwise, I'm going to come down there and lay hands on you. Okay, wrestling was real. But it was back in the day Hulk Hogan dominated the wrestling scene, and he dominated his opponents. But every now and then, he ran into what we call life. And every now and then, in the ring, his opponent would get him in a hold, a chokehold, and would begin to choke the very breath right out of Hulk Hogan. Y'all remember that? Huh? And he wouldn't let him go, and he would take that giant of a man and walk him down to his knees. And Hulk Hogan would find himself sitting with his legs sprawled out, and the guy had a chokehold, and both of his arms were down. And y'all remember the referee? The referee was like, come on, y'all remember that referee? Come on, y'all remember him? He was walking it. He was, and every now and then, he'd go up to Hulk Hogan and he'd grab that right arm and he'd pick it up, and Hulk Hogan would drop it. And then he'd bounce around again. Come on. Then he'd go up a second time. He'd pick up that arm. He'd drop it. Hulk Hogan looked lifeless. The crowd was silent. You could have heard a pin drop. But then that referee went and he'd grab it one more time. Everybody say that third time. He grabbed that arm and he picked that arm up. And when he let go of that arm stood still. Come on. And it began to shake. And I'm here to tell you, the Holy Ghost is about to shake somebody up.